Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn Just Be with Mahesh. Today, instead of me saying what we are going to do in the next 5 minutes, I guess I wanted you to guess what we are going to do. So we have a screen which shows Cloud SQL instance, one which has an external IP address, one which has only internal IP address. Guess what we are going to do today? Pause it and see it. All good. If you have guessed it, good. So what we are going to do is very simple. We are going to connect to both the Cloud SQL instance. So and see how what is the procedure to connect to it. So connecting to a Cloud SQL instance which has a public IP address should not be a big deal. We have done this multiple times, and if you wanted to see how to connect it, I have a video which we did almost when we did almost in the month of April. So you can just do a refresh of that stuff. It is just add a whitelist to your IP address from which IP address you want to connect, and you should be able to connect it. So just a quick recap, just go to your external IP address Cloud SQL instance, click on connections, and you should be able to add a network, whitelist a network, and you should be all good. So that is option number one. Now coming to your cloud internal IP address Cloud SQL instance, if you just click on this, you should see the same screen. And under connections, if you see, you cannot whitelist it. There's no option to whitelist a specific IP address from where you wanted to connect. So that option is ruled out here. And if you see, just to quickly compare it, the one the Cloud SQL instance which has an external IP address or public IP address has the option of whitelisting, and the machine or the Cloud SQL instance which has only private, which is associated to a specific network, VPC network, you cannot connect to add any whitelisting. So what is the option then? Does it mean you cannot connect to this Cloud SQL instance which has internal IP address? The answer is no. You can definitely connect. So if you go to your overview, it shows you how to connect to this Cloud SQL instance. Similarly, if you have an external IP address also, they show you how to connect it. So if it is an external a Cloud SQL instance with external IP address, you get one feature additional. You can connect it from your Cloud Shell environment, where if you just click on this, your Cloud Shell environment's external IP address would be whitelisted for 5 minutes, and you should be able to connect to this instance. That is option number one. Option number two is install a virtual machine and connect it using that, and you need to whitelist that IP address also. That is option number two. So, but when you come to this internal IP address, that Cloud Shell option is ruled out, and you're only left with connect from a virtual machine. So let's try to click on that. When you click on this, it will show you a self-guided tutorial where it shows create a virtual machine, very standard. Then make the virtual machine's external IP address as static. Once you do that, come to Cloud SQL instance and click on the connections tabs. That's what they're mentioning. So let's follow that. Click on connections tab, and they say click on add network. Where is the add network option? It's not there. So but if it is an external IP address Cloud SQL instance, you have this option. But if you have an internal IP address machine, you don't have this option. So I personally feel this tutorial needs to be updated if it is having a internal IP address only. So does it mean you cannot definitely connect to this? The answer is no. You can connect to this internal IP address machine using standard feature, which is make sure you create a virtual machine which is in the same network. So behind the scene, a Cloud SQL instance with an internal IP address uses the concept of VPC peering. It would be paired with default VPC. That was the one which we saw in our overview on in our connections tab. So it is associated with default VPC. So very simple. Create a virtual machine which is in default VPC, then SSH into it. So once you have SSH into it, make sure you install the client. So you can install the client by this command sudo app install MySQL client, and once you are done with it, you can connect to the Cloud SQL instance by the standard procedure host. And the most important thing is the host is an internal IP address RFC 1918 standard. Mention your username password and you should be all good. Let's see. Yes, we have successfully connected to our Cloud SQL instance. which has only internal IP address. So if you just wanted to check what are the databases, the standard databases would be there. So that's how one can connect to a Cloud SQL instance which has only internal IP address. The base is you should create a virtual machine which is in the same, which is peered to the same network. That's it. If you do that, you should be able to connect it. So hope the video was helpful. Please let me know in the comment section if you want me to do a video on a specific GCP concept. I'm happy to do that. Thanks for watching.